Oh, yeah. New week, Sunday night. A little bit later. Good reason. Just glad to be here. Hello, Lewis. Others that are coming to the stream. Instagram. Paul. And maybe others. Thank you so much. Good to be here. Grab your coffee. Yes, coffee this way, or whatever your beverage may be. SFP News Desk. And I am David the AM, your host. Usually we are here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this day's been a little bit different, and I have told you that we have a death in the family, and this week will be the funeral. Family coming in, and sometimes schedules get shifted just a little bit. We had a good visit in the studio here with family. They're resting. They've got jet lag, and yes, Miss Jen, it has been good. Just like I said, though, we're going to be honoring a life of my aunt, and my sister, baby sister, and husband made it into town from Nevada, and we had a really good talk about lots of things: family, jobs, America, podcasting. I think that we're going to be able to pull this off Wednesday night during Hump Day Views. Hump Day Views, baby sister in the house live, and husband for the first time in Studio A, live. I have no idea what we're going to talk about yet. I told him we'd figure out something. We may just chit chat with Rob, but we'll probably get into something. We'll have something that'll be fun and dynamic and whatever it may be. We've had a lot of talk today. These are, after all, I will forsake of their the precarious position is we will not discuss on the air their jobs, but I did get a lot of behind the scenes information, which flavored in some stuff that really confirmed a lot of what I was saying. In fact, it lined right up, and I'm glad that I was on point. They would know better than I, but reading the tea leaves and everything about it, we will stay away from that during the live because of their jobs. But they do work for the government, and that's not a secret. We will not get into specifics. In fact, other than to just wish them well, we won't talk about that at all because we don't want to cause them any problems. We're just going to talk as brother, sister, and brother-in-law and having fun, and they're going to get rested up. Of course, the funeral will be that day, early in the day, and they'll be going back on Thursday, I believe, to Nevada. I'm going to say it right, but you'll be able to. She's been on the air before with us. Both of them have. It's been a while. They're very busy, like all of us are. Thank you so much for the prayers. Yes, it is great to see her. I was running late for church. They were worn out, but we talked a lot about many different things. And my other sister was here, so the brain trust, along with wife and one of my sons, granddaughter, and dog, all assembled here in the studio. We had a good time, but we'll get to that. We'll let them get some rest, and let them visit some family in the area. And we do honor. I do want to say we prayed for my family, especially her kids. I miss her. She's my aunt, but you can't miss like those that do that. That's their mama. And so my heart goes out because I know what that feels like. But we will honor her and hopefully have some stories, rehash some stories, learn some new stories and all of the Wednesday night family gathering. And then Wednesday will be the funeral. It's going to cause me to shift some things around, and but that's what happens. Life doesn't slow down for anyone. Pardon me. But she was very profound in my life, and I do miss her. I didn't get to see her all the time, but we kept up on Facebook sometimes, and public family gatherings and stuff. That's just the way it goes. But anyway, thank you for that. I do want to thank you for that. Everybody loses somebody. I'm not anybody special with that, but I do appreciate the prayers. There's lots. I mean, that happens every day all over the world, but I do appreciate the thoughts because I know they're sincere, and I don't mean that in any kind of way. I just realize that we're not any bigger in that area than a lot of people are that have lost people or losing people. But it comes to everybody's home, family, and so it causes you to reflect about days gone by and realize how quickly life goes by. And I never got to ask her. I don't even know if she ever saw the podcast. I don't know what she thought about it, if she ever saw it. But I am glad that her and my dad are together again, and other family members that went on previously. And yes, we believe they're together. We are firm believers in the salvation that we hold precious from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. My family, none of us are perfect, and that's nobody. But my family's always been close to God, allowing for those mistakes we all make as humans. My grandfather, their dad, was a Baptist preacher, and it's a very it's a family of faith. We do have our problems like anybody, but we take them to the Lord. Anyway, it is Sunday night, and we do have news, lots of news. I do want to say, while I got some of you in here, I am honored to be asked to be on Angry Conservatives' Rumble show. This is one of the reasons I told you. Now, I will say that I believe this show is going to be a premium-only interview, which means if you're not a paying subscriber to Rumble, it would be not viewable if that's the way it does it. I think this series is, but maybe after it is aired, we can then get a copy. We will see. I'll have to ask him about that. But if you're Rumble Premium, in case he does that, I think he is, Angry Conservative is doing an interview series, and Saturday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time live. He is moving these schedules around for the interviews to make it work best for the people, and I so appreciate that. In fact, he did one last night for a fellow on the West Coast. I've got to finish watching. I've watched a full third of it. I got to finish. He did that at midnight last night. I watched a little bit of it last night and a little bit today. I got to finish it up. But I sent him a picture. In fact, it looks a lot like what I'm wearing now, a little bit. And I want to put on the screen. This is the thumbnail for the show on Rumble. He called me the cornbread man. I like that. I do like that. He told me that he was excited about the thumbnail. He said it wasn't up last night. He said, but it will be. And he sent me an email today. I just got to it a little while ago, so sorry, brother. It's been a busy day. And asked me if I liked it. And I said, I love it. I absolutely love it. The cornbread man. And I just nailed it. So this is Angry Conservative 1981 on the Rumble side of things, and among the many Rumble podcasters that we now call friends. And it'll be just a round robin of questions from the chat and from himself as they get to know this crazy North Georgia cornbread man as one of the co-hosts of the Southern Fried Podcast. And we're making our mark through the cornbread. I love it. And so if you can, tune in. If not, we will see what we can do about getting a copy of it. But thank you so much, Angry Conservative. It is a great honor. There's lots of news. So many things are going on. Some we just can't talk about yet. Some we're just not. We're trying to get there. You know this, and other things are just going on behind the scenes a lot. And we're just living life each day and trying to just do the best we can, stay up with it all. But so many doors are opening up, and we are so excited about it. I talked to Rob. It was yesterday. We talked for a little bit. Y'all pray for him. He had a rough day. So we'll be back together in the morning for the SFP morning show, Monday morning show. Then tomorrow night, that's at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then, okay, Louis. Then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. our normal Mama Said at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Rob and Miss Elizabeth. Tuesday's race show. Dean, if you're watching, I think it falls to Tuesday. Of course, you're laid up at home. Doesn't matter to you, but if James is going to come in studio, I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all may be watching. We're going to modify, and I've got a couple of ideas for that. But visitation to the funeral home starts at 5 p.m., and obviously I will be there. I have a couple of options, and we'll get together on that. On the Southern Fried Racing Hour, there's a great race at Talladega. Cindric brings home the trophy. And yes, Kyle Busch did finish the race, although way back, he did finish. And so, Dean, the pink shirt is coming your way. I'm sure Rob will be all over that. They exchanged phone numbers today. I'm sure there was some communication about that. Hey, you watched the last 30 laps. All right. Well, a lot of people say that's what you do. watch the ending. Uh, but good for you. Dean says he has a page of notes already, and we'll look forward to Dean's notes, a regular feature of our race hour. We will have the show. But normally we bounce between Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. James couldn't be here on Thursday, I believe. If I remember right, he will be off Tuesday. I'm gonna communicate tomorrow. We will update that because that's become a really big feature here at Southern Fried, is that racing show, and we're excited about it. Just news and notes. This is a news show. It's not just politics, but news and notes. The NFL draft was this weekend, and I know some people are anti-NFL. I get it. I understand all that stuff, all of it. And I hate it. Sometimes when I mention it in NFL, I get this. It's almost like I can feel the wave of, oh my God, I don't watch the NFL. I was done with it. I canceled it years ago. Okay, calm down. I didn't like none of it either. Don't throw me over into the abyss because I still watch some NFL football. The draft is always fun to me. I swear they do. There's a couple of things that you can say out there, and some people they mean well. You can't even get the words out, and they just jump you. It's America, baby. It's freedom. You can cancel out and not watch whatever you want to watch, or you can watch. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not offended that you do not watch the NFL or do not watch any sports or whatever. Trust me, I'm just as offended myself at many of the things that they have done. I still like watching them play. I just don't watch the festivities pre-game. I don't listen to any of it. I click the game on at kickoff. There you go, NFL. I don't watch none of your stuff. I don't watch halftime. I watch the game. I still like it. I was raised with it. I love it. I watch college football. If you choose not to, it doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, I support you in it. It's America's freedom. God bless you. But it was this weekend. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. Round 1 Thursday. Shadur Sanders not drafted. Rounds 2 and 3 Friday. Friday, excuse me. Get it out right. Shadur Sanders not drafted. Lots of information flowing about that. Of course, that's Deion Sanders' son. So predicted all the way up to number 1. He was finally drafted, I think, by Cleveland. Round 5, I think it was. Big fall. Cost him a lot of money. He'll be okay. He'll either make it or he won't. But he'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not in my top 100. But I know for him that was a big in their family, and I'm not poking at it. I'm not making fun of it. I don't have a hate on for any player or anything, and let them live their life. I'll live mine. Hallelujah. I watched caught up with a little bit of baseball, a little bit of different things. Like I said, it's been a busy week. I got a busy week at work. I got classes this week. I got a funeral to attend, and it's just going to be difficult to get all of it done. So I've got class days on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll have to only do half of that, or not even half. I'll probably go and leave in enough time to get there. We'll see. But anyway, news and notes for me. The president has been overseas. Of course, the death of the Pope has caused the whole world to alter all their schedules. We're not the only one. Many of the foreign leaders, diplomats, and others are in Rome, where President Trump and the little deputy Zelensky had a face-to-face, truly a face-to-face, sitting in chairs with nobody else around. They seem to be positive of the results, that they can get this peace agreement. Of course, there's been hesitation by Russia. President Trump has questioned whether they really want to get a deal done. We shall see. But there are a lot of leaders there, a lot of talk going on. That's a worldwide event. And then, of course, the conclave, the picking of the new Pope. It is a major news story, whether we like the Pope or we don't like the Pope, or we don't, whether you're Catholic or not or whatever. It is a news story. It is a news story. And, you know, what kind of a pope is this man? Will he be globalist leading, or is he conservative, or is he this or that? Where does he come from? We shall see. Interestingly, Trump says today that Columbus Day will be Columbus Day again. I find that very interesting. They've been trying to, because he continues to promote history and those things that we grew up with, and so I'm good with that. It's a small story, but I like it. Set things in orders like Gulf of America and all that's good. But a Ukrainian lawmaker has stated that Trump could become, quote unquote, the greatest president in U.S. history. From Eric Mack at Newsmax, appealing to President Trump's desire for a long-lasting, positive American presidential legacy, a Ukrainian lawmaker said making peace in Ukraine, quote, is his chance, end quote, to be considered, quote, the greatest president in U.S. history. Can you just see the liberals' head exploding off that news? Especially because it's Ukraine. But it will require full-throated appreciation for Ukraine against Russia. You knew there had to be a catchphrase, right? It will require full-throated appreciation for Ukraine against Russia. Ukrainian Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Alexander Merezhkov, probably butchered the last name. He wants to be great, and he wants to be remembered in history as a great president. And for him, Ukraine is his chance. Bob, I got news for you. Ukraine is not the central portion of how great President Trump will be. It is a part of the pie. It could be good or it could be bad. But you people in Ukraine continue to make it you the center of the earth and everything revolving around you. And that is just not true. He said American greatness has been measured by Presidents John F. Kennedy, 1963, and President Ronald Reagan, 1987, talking about Berlin, the wall, tearing the wall down speeches, showing greatness on the world stage. And so for Trump, if he comes to Kyiv and says something like, I'm Ukrainian, or we express solidarity with you, or we are on your side, you're fighting for the right cause, he will go down in history as a person who might eclipse even Kennedy and Reagan. Don't you like to say sometimes, what are you smoking? I mean, come on. Hey, Angry. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Hey, I appreciate it. I love it, dude. I don't know if you saw me put that up. I love that. This is the man who made this happen. The cornbread man. Dude, that is absolutely killer. I love that. You caught me off guard. You said last night during the show that you were excited about it. And I was like, okay. I was anxious to see what you came up with. And I got to be honest, I never thought of that. That's cool. That might just have to go on a shirt. No shame in my game. The cornbread man. Enjoyed the show. I was showing my family some of the excerpts from the show as we were talking today and trying to get them all to become rumblers. I think that they're going to look into it, and I was giving them some names of some folks to look at that we are honored to be have a friendship with, and you were one of those, along with Killer Card, Kim's Coffee Shop, and of course Steve at Half Pint Forge and others. But thank you for the opportunity to be on. I'm extremely honored, and I'm going to go back. I really like the concept. I love that kind of thing. Me and you must have this kind of a mind meld kind of thing. I'm really big into series of stuff. And okay, the first stream I watched was the Cornbread Nation show, which is interesting because that's the one, it came along later. Like we always, at first, Rob was against doing a Cornbread Nation show because that was a part of who we are is Cornbread Nation, our breadheads. And I said, dude, after a point, we got to do it, man. It's just like it's screaming to be done. And so it's the most different kind of show that we do, where it's scripted and we have a lot of fun, I guess you can see. And but I like that. Angry has a fun time, and I love it. He's full of laughter, and as he says, this is why I love what I do. And you can feel the passion off of what he does. Uh, and I love the interview series. How many of those have you done thus far, my friend? I know of 3, I believe. But I want to watch them all. I really do like that concept. Uh, because we do a lot of interviews as well, but not in that same way. And I wouldn't do it like that, but I do like that concept of the interview series. That's pretty cool. And the fact that you brought people from many different kinds of backgrounds, not only podcasts but types of people, is really cool. And we all learn something from each other and learning about each other. And these people that you are interviewing, I may have never crossed paths with them that much, and you have made that possible through this series. Folks, give him a follow on the Rumble side of things, Rumble channel, Angry Conservative. His name it says 1981, but if you look up Angry Conservative, and you can see that logo. It's a good logo. It's one of the better logos. I like our logo, and I can say that. I'll say it. I think that's one of the better logos I've seen on Rumble. I like it. And that, again, will be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Saturday. And I appreciate you. And I look forward to diving into whatever we dive in. Yeah. 3 behind the PayPal and 1 last night, just to let people know what it's about. Okay, got you. So 4 total. 3 are behind the paywall, which I mentioned that you were putting a lot of them for those that are subscribers or pay for Rumble, which is not expensive, folks. It's a great platform, and please sign up. It's like Patriot Mobile that we have advertised for, we're affiliated with. Make the switch. You can hold on to the others, but eventually they're probably going to cancel you out. If you're conservative and love President Trump, you're probably done. Eventually, we are. This is our firewall, because we didn't start with Rumble, because I knew about it. I had a Rumble channel, but I didn't know about the content side. And the way we actually started with Facebook and YouTube, because that was just the way the co-host set it up. And so we kind of worked this thing kind of forward backward. It's funny now we got more Rumble followers than we do the other 2, and almost combined, but not quite. But we have built up some, and we're pleased with that. Hey, Chick Mate. But yeah, it's great. I don't know how many you're going to do, but I think it's a great thing, and I hope you're able to do that for a while, because there's a lot of different kinds of individuals out there who are interesting to talk to, and they have so many different things that they're about. Their ideas, the way they think, their heart about it. And thank you, Tar Man, for giving him a follow. He has reached out. He reached out to us, and we're appreciative of that. We really, really are. I can't say enough about these folks. It has been it's been awesome. It has been really, really awesome to see these folks come along and support the Southern Fried. Hey, Miss Christina, thank you. I'll read through that, and yes, I appreciate your continuing to get the news out there about the issues that we have here, and so we will put that up. Thank you for that. There is a lot of things going on in the state, absolutely. Yeah, so I'll leave that up for a second. But it is, yeah. There's a lot going on in the state of Georgia, politics and some of these things. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I've been trying to stay caught up and keep up It's very nice of you to follow, and it's a blessing. It really is a blessing. I was telling my family today, this family of podcasters on Rumble have been a blessing. I just can't say any more than that. We're very alike in some ways. We're very different in some ways. Yes, he's a good man too. I really like James at Empty Pockets. All these guys have, and ladies, Kim's Coffee Talk, all of them have been so great to us. And it can be what I really love about it is because I'm big on fellowship. I'm big on camaraderie. We're not here to, we're not here to. We're here to find our place. We're not here to take anybody's place or even try. Not that we could. We're here to find our niche, our mark. And instead of others who could be, turn their backs to us, instead they've embraced us. Many of them. I'm not saying, I don't know them all, but many have. And every one of them has said the same thing is, I hope that it helps. And they truly mean that. After the night we were on Killer Carl's program, and you should follow, now they tell it like it is. So if you get easily offended at words, I'm just saying, understand that, some of these shows, it's a freedom, it's your freedom, and they will tell you in no certain terms. Sometimes they joke around, a lot of times it's straight serious, and so if you don't like that, then I understand. But that's their language, and that's fine. It's their show, but I'm telling you, they bring it. But at he said he would have me back up, and I'm amazed at that. I was just thankful I didn't kill the show. But the night after, and he sent me a nice email after that, and said that he hoped it helped. The next morning, we had over 50 new followers just from that one show on Rumble. And I'm not trying to throw numbers. What I'm saying is that it has an impact. It helps all of us to connect with listeners and to assist each other along. After all, we got enough people coming after us, right? Man, I just get tired. I talked to a lady, and I don't know if she's listening or not. She just started getting her Rumble she had it. And Florida gal, if you listened in, thank you. I enjoyed the conversation this weekend. And if I remember right, she said she was canceled out on 2 already. She doesn't do videos. She just she's a listener. She's a watcher. She posts and she forwards things, videos and stuff. She's not a podcaster, but she loves podcasts. She's a conservative. And she is concerned about all the canceling that's going out. And she said herself, they're coming after the conservatives. And it's true. They're coming after the conservatives. Rumble is the safe space. There may be others that are fine right now. Hopefully they'll stay that way, but Rumble is the safe space. And so, in looking back, I wish we had, because we lost some time here, but we're catching up to where we probably should be. It'll take, it just takes time. And Rob had never even heard of Rumble. I said, dude, we need to get a Rumble channel. We need to get it going. Well, we all need a safe space, chick-bait. But you don't have to worry. And for those of you that follow on some of the others, we're not abandoning anything unless they kick us out of the party. I know some of you come to us. In fact, tonight in this stream, there are people that are coming in this stream from some of those that have, kicked us. They kicked us out for a week. They warned us. They threatened us with the eternal ban. It's been okay here lately. I mean, we had a few little ticky things. And you saw me the other day, yesterday, I think it was, early show, drop them out of late in a live because I said I can't play this little piece of music because they'll just gig us. So I dropped them. And I'm not mentioning them, but I'm not here to hurt their brand or anything like that. It's been good for us in many ways, but in other ways it's terrible. And it's frustrating. I don't like being on, and that's what's great about Rumble. With some of these others, you catch yourself watching what you say. And I'm not talking about the language. I'm talking about just words and phrases and things that they won't let you talk about. They'll just you're out of here. And it's freeing to go Rumble only and just sit and just have a show and a great show. Yes, I did too. And let me tell you, they are making a big comeback. Now I don't know if they'll get to where they need to be, but I got to tell you, their commentary each week. The email is awesome. Thanks for bringing that up. We have about there's two channels. We have about 1,200 followers between the two channels. I think it's just a mirror, but it actually is two different sections. There's Play TV and then Parlor, and they're working it. It is that brand. It was really good in the beginning. They took a beating. They just tried to cancel them out. I thought they were gone. They started making a comeback. Their stuff looks good. It looks good, and we've held our accounts. We didn't get rid of them, and we just kept working it. And it's now kind of turning away. I'm not saying it's on the level of Rumble, but it is good. But Rumble is, and that's why we've told you all. We're not. I mean, granted, if you become a paying customer of Rumble, which in the end I would say you'll probably end up dumping the others, and you should support Rumble and pay for it and just make sure it stays up here for us for all these podcasters. But this is going to be a fallback for you, and the more you can go on there, the more you're going to see us. And there are some things we're just going to do. Angry is, I think, Rumble only. We will. Chick, I don't know that. You're going to be amazed at what's on there. Gab is another one, but they don't do broadcasts. You can do videos and stuff, and we're at Gab. And Gab has channels that will offend you because they protect freedom of speech. And there's some stations out there you just got to roll on by because they're straight up. I don't want to mention the words because I'm in different streams here and I will get banished. But if you want to go look at Gab's another one that's struggling, and they're getting attacked. All these Rumble gets attacked, Gab gets attacked, Parler gets attacked by the entities out there. They've attacked them on many different levels. All kind of bans, all kind of search engines messing with them. Now they're trying to attack them when they can't collect money. Gab is having they lost all their ability to collect money from supporters and stuff overseas, and they're trying to get to a backup. And it's just ridiculous. Yeah, they did tear Bongino up bad, Tarman. Yeah, I remember that went down. It was ugly. I mean, it's here in America, just try to take a company down, just kill it. That's what they do. There are all kinds of people on Rumble. It's pretty even on political bias here. True. There's all kinds of shows. You can probably find just about whatever you're looking for. But it's a good, and they offer a lot of the same things. And me and Rob have tinkered with the idea, although we have come to no conclusion. We are right now, what we're doing is loading in all of our graphics and videos or, ads, all that stuff. We're slowly loading it into the Rumble platform and, getting, they're pretty open to all. We're trying to be ready, and if it works, if we can get that to work as good as what we've done through StreamYard, we'll probably leave StreamYard. It's certainly a lot cheaper, but we've got to make sure it works for us because we do a lot of different things, and we're not fast. We don't jump the gun, so to speak. We just take it as it comes. But Rumble is becoming a huge position for us that we're going to continue to explore and expand. And I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. Y'all keep talking. Appreciate y'all having these nice conversations. Y'all are awesome. But Rumble is, I just say make sure Rumble's in your family of channels. I just say that because you never know what's going to happen. And we're in a political environment right now where the conservatives are under attack, MAGA's under attack, families are under attack. I mean, this goes on and on and on and on. Our education, all this stuff, the fight for the mind and the soul of the nation and of our kids and us. It's a lot going on. And I just say have it in your family of channels and build it up along the way and make sure you follow all the people you want to follow. Because most likely, not in every circumstance, but most likely if they have a channel, they have a Rumble channel. If they don't, They better get one. Now we're on, what is it, 8, 9, 8? Well, we're on a bunch, but I'm talking about ones we stream live to. Counting our personal ones, we're streaming live to 11 to 15 different streams when we go live. But that equates to about 10 or 11 different individual ones. Then we just double up on some of them. We all have personal accounts, and we're able to live stream, and it just puts more people in the mix. So a little bit, Miss Christina. I have somewhat looked at it. I need to dive a little deeper. I know that. I've been trying to listen to some folks that are keeping me updated on it. I know there's a lot of shenanigans going on in Georgia. Full disclosure here, I do work. I am a poll worker at my precinct. So just so people know, I think most people know that. I enjoy doing it, but just full disclosure on that. So I do know that there's some elections. It's not a heavy year like a 2026, but 2025 does have. Well, thank you, Tar Man. We're around that. We're out there. I have people tell me, everywhere I look, y'all are coming across my stream. Well, that's the intent. Oh, but yes, I am. Beginning to look at a lot of those races and different things that they're voting on, and trying to get informed. You just got a Donald Jr. ad, okay. You're not slacking. You got a very successful platform, my friend. When we started, we really didn't know what we were going to do, so we just let me get this real quick. Wayne County, Georgia Republican Party will be hosting 3 of these candidates May 14th, reserved 2 by May 8th. Wayne County. Okay, thank you for that. I know y'all are I think that you're voter GA, right? Facebook and volunteer, I believe, if I remember right. I wasn't trying, just found. And if you would like to come up one day, if you're comfortable with coming up on the show, I'd love to have you come up and talk about some of these things, because next week, in this week, is May 1st. If you feel comfortable with that, I'd love to have you come up and we can talk about some of those things. I'd be glad to. And we definitely want to highlight those things anyway. And we're Georgia. So, okay, you're a volunteer and also the secretary for Wayne County GOP. Would you be willing to come up in the next week? If you're not, that's fine. Just point me in the right direction and stuff. Appreciate it. And we'll get the information up, because we've had a lot going on. Okay, thank you for that. I will make sure that to put that up. Thank you for that. And you're willing to come up. Okay. I will. I'll send that. We'll work. I'll get with you offline and we'll talk about what works best over the next week. And because we do have a couple things going on, but we can fit this in. Certainly, absolutely fit it in. Even if there's plenty of shows that I could do that with, not just the ones I do with Rob. I would like for him to be there, but we can make it happen. So awesome! Thank you for that. Hey, our friend Taurus he's in Connecticut tonight, in the land of the Yankee. Hey, you be safe up there. Making deliveries, eating miles. He's probably resting right now, getting him some pillow time. You get all over the place, don't you? From GA all the way up north. Bless your heart. We appreciate your being here. And yes, working the roads and making deliveries for people on their stuff. Oh, you're very welcome, my friend. I know you love the Lord. We do too. Praying for you. Have safe journeys. Be safe out there. Keep that truck locked. Don't let the crazies get in on you. You never know. Some of these cities, crazy, the crime level, it's like something out of Mad Max sometimes. It really is. and it's getting crazier. Full on, just broad daylight, strong arm robberies, abductions, beat downs in the street. This is becoming America. That's why we got to get something done. We've lost our way. Police force is understaffed. I mean, in many cities now, if you have a wreck, they just tell you to, take pictures and send it in. They don't have nobody to send you. I mean, it's crazy. They're starting to charge for some services in some places, including the fire department, because they're understaffed. They just don't have enough, and trying to get pay up and all that, I guess. But it's crazy. This is America, baby. Come on, we're better than this, and we need to be better. We need to vote. Me and Robin's been harping on this. Vote. We know the issues. Get out and vote. Study those state Supreme Courts. Study your school board. Study your local commissioners. I can tell you that right now, and I'm going to be vague because I don't want to harm anybody who it could harm. But later on, I'm going to have lots to say about some things that's happened in my county, personal to me. It's my story. People can disagree with it, but it's my story, and I'm not happy. I feel like I've been treated like the criminal. Okay, yeah, we have came up a long way, brother. Well, that's just SP. I mean, excuse me, X, SP. X, yes, on X. It's about 46,000 across all streams right now. We don't go live to all those, but we do go live to several of them. We're thankful. Grows all the time. By the way, the person on, and let me explain something because it involves our affiliate, Patriot Mobile. I had this lady that said, "Oh, these phones are horrible. My parents have them. They have dropped phone calls and messages all the time." I'm like, do you not understand? There is no phone service that you can get where you do not have drops. There is no phone service you can get that you don't lose some things like that, especially when you're moving around. There are many, and I'm on the Verizon network, and Verizon has drops. They do. Sometimes at work, I can't even access my phone for a phone call. And I have a cell tower that sits right next to the building. Crazy things happen. That's not Patriot Mobile's fault. They go on your Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever. They use yours. You stay with it. You don't leave it. They just switch you over to their phones and service, and you're supporting a patriotic, godly company. I know you were probably thinking you were helping people, and maybe their parents are bitter about their phone service, but there's a lot of variables. Where do you live? There's lots of things that goes into your phone connection. And there's not a one of us that has said, hello, did I lose you? Are you there? We've all done that. It does not matter who you go to. You got to find out who has the best one for you. When I had T-Mobile, it's not a slam. My son still has T-Mobile, one of them. I got to get him switched over. Working on that. When I had T-Mobile way back in the early 90s, at my church, which is not that far from you, Tarman, it would not work. I had one spot on the whole property. I marked that spot, and I walked to it, and that was the only place I could make a phone call. I switched to Verizon around 1995. I've been on that one ever since. I've been on their network. Tarman says he's on AT&T. So when you make that switch to Patriot Mobile, you're going to be able to keep your same network. You don't have to switch that. You just give them all the info. They'll take care of it for you. That you're actually with them, but you still get to use the same network. So educate yourself, please. That's all I say. Educate yourself instead of giving out information and trashing a company that's not fair. For you, oh yeah, I bet down there it's challenged, man. You're out. You're kind of out. You're not near no cities. You are like Rob. You are rural. rural. That's that word we have a hard time saying. Rural. And so you got to find out where you're at. I'm in the mountains, dips and valleys and hollers and trails. I lose people all the time. I was talking to Robert, matter of fact, going to pick up my granddaughter up in Decatur. We dropped 3 or 4 times on one stretch of road. Just finally said, listen, I'll holler at you later. Oh. Yeah, thank you. There is no perfect. Thank you for that. There is no perfect. Yeah, you have to find out what works best for you. So please, I always say that because I saw it as I was going to church. I'm like, oh, they just trashed them in the comment. I'm like, please don't do that. If you don't want to make the switch, don't. That's fine, but don't trash them. Oh my gosh. Oh, some keyboard warriors, and I get it. Listen, I'm not mocking her. And for her experience, she maybe thinks it's a frustration to her parents. I get that. Man, we've all had that experience. We've all had problems with our service. We've all had times we could not get a phone call out, or our texts were not working. We couldn't download something. It happens. I remember for a long time trying to figure out why I was paying for 5G. I couldn't find it with a flashlight and a search helicopter over the top of me. Where was 5G? What's that? Yes, Miss Christina. I mean, some places are just not going to work depending on network and things like that. For me, it's going to work. Don't work for someone else, it doesn't work. But I'd rather support a patriotic company, which is cheaper, who does support faith, family, freedom. God bless them, love them. Texas-based. And the Cornbread Man is my friend. I love this. I absolutely love it. David the AM is also the Cornbread Man. There's a hat coming, baby, on that. The Cornbread Man. You did me a solid there, Angry. You're awesome. No shame in my game. I'm taking it. You offered it up on a plate. I'm taking it. The Cornbread Man. Hallelujah. One of the greatest marketing things ever was in the 70s, wasn't it? And it was like a 2-word expression or something. They made millions off of that. Absolutely made millions. And so marketing is, you're trying to get your name out there, your brand out there. There's my son. He's been helping me a lot, the oldest boy. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for giving me that. I'm honored. I can't wait to be on there. I just can't wait. I love conversation. I mean, that's why I podcast. I mean, that's why I like it. I love questions. I love answering questions. I love asking people questions. I love interviewing people, and I like to be interviewed. You let it go the direction it wants to go. And I'm absolutely excited about that. Yeah, man, you get you some rest, brother man. You got to take care of that. Get that beauty sleep, as they say. But we hope to see you tomorrow. We'll have shows all over the place. Absolutely. Again, I'm in here a little later. I didn't get started at my normal time. Yes, there is, Spartan. I do have some air on. It's a little hot in the studio, so sorry there is a little bit of noise to that. I appreciate you letting me know that, but that is why. It is heating up in North Georgia, so we'll try to mask that or shield it as much as we can, but sometimes you do get that. So I thank you, Spartan, for saying that. It's not the mic's fault. It's my fault. It started getting a little warm in the afternoon. Usually in the early mornings, late at night, I'd just turn it off. But in the afternoon, the humidity. I need about, if I was up in Connecticut, it wouldn't be no problem right now. we've had rain in the area for sure, and we'll end up getting some more too. So the humidity level is rising. Going to run a quick commercial. It's about that time, and I'm gonna refill my coffee cup if my son don't stay in my way. And I think he's making coffee right now. We'll be right back, and we'll advertise for the store. By the way, there is a new. I'm just getting it uploaded. There's some other. We're going to attach it when we get all this set up. There's some new stuff coming. Not just ideas that'll be in our store, but also a new connected store that you can get stickers and stuff like that that's coming, and we can update that really quickly too. So that'll be coming soon. We'll be right back. It's Dave in the AM with the SFP News Desk. See you in just a couple of minutes.
Yes, Robert and Dave, y'all.
Southern Fried Podcast fans, this is Dave in the AM. I want to tell you about our store. We've been promoting it a little bit. We wanted to promote it a little bit more and let you know we've been adding some designs to it, and we're continuing to do that. Right now, there's a summer sale going on. You're going to see here in just a second what kind of discounts you can get. They're pretty amazing. Our old store became cumbersome and it was not easily updated, and we have since went to a new store, and the old one is still there, and if you decide to shop there, that's fine. But this is our new store, and it is so easy for us to manage, and we want to thank the folks at Threadless for that. So on the screen right now, you see some shirts of some of the different designs. One of our newest one is the Georgia outline, the red one. We really like that. You see some of our classic designs. You see some here that you may not have seen before. And again, we're designing and adding to just about every week. You see hats. There is just about anything in there. And we're trying to add more products all the time, as well as those new designs. So go shop at the Southern Fried Podcast store, and you'll be able to get some of these things too. Here's the QR code for that. And you can see at the top of the page, 40% off right now. These are amazing prices going on. The store is very affordable. Me and Rob wanted as best of prices as we could get. And this is the place that we found to be able to do it. And there's the address. You can copy that out or use the QR code. We thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and watching the shows and supporting us and letting us know how much you enjoy it. You mean a lot to us. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Hey, Southern Fried Podcast fans. This is Dave the AM for the Southern Fried Podcast. We want to advertise for W, who's got some special things going on. So are you tired of those energy drinks that you drink and they give you the jitters and the crashes that come from the typical drink? Look no further than W Energy Drink. It's a revolutionary new beverage that will keep you energized without any of those downsides. For a limited time, folks, W is offering an incredible 30% off on everything they sell. That's right. You can stock up on your favorite flavors and save big while enjoying the smooth, sustained energy that only W can provide. I'm a customer member, and I can testify to this. I love this drink. No shakes, no crashes. And if it can help my mental acuity, I'm happy too. Awesome. They have a unique formula that provides you a perfect balance of focus and vitality without any of those unpleasant side effects that we don't want. No more of those shaking hands, crashing you in the middle of the day. Just pure clean energy to help you tackle any challenge that comes your way. But don't wait too long. This 30% offer won't last forever. Go on over to W's website now and start shopping. Remember to smash that promo code Southern Fried into the area where they ask you to put that in there, and it'll help us as well. You're still going to get the 30%, but it'll let them know that you are supporting us, and so we appreciate it today. So try W Energy Drink and experience the difference for yourself. Your body and mind will thank you for making the switch to the energy drink that truly delivers on its promises. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save big and upgrade your energy game with W. Don't forget, use that promo code Southern Fried. And we're back talking to my son, who is headed out, trying to get communication with him. We got to go pick up a car tomorrow and live stuff. Sleep won't help me on that. The beauty sleep. You know what? The beauty of it is no pun intended. If you can actually sleep, sleep is great. Sometimes you can't sleep, and that creates a problem. Back to our friend in Ukraine. I say that with tongue in cheek. I just wanted to finish this man's responses. Uh, the president went on to say that he doesn't think that Putin wants peace. But again, he talked about the bloodshed, the sanctions, and that too many people are dying. Um, but he says that if he uses this Maresco, if he uses this chance, he will become great. With the caveat, if not, he'll be remembered in a negative way. Nobody. You're going to be remembered in a negative way for what you've done in Ukraine. That's what's going to happen. That is exactly what's going to happen. Americans are tired of this. They want out of it. There's no path to victory. What is victory? Different from what each says. Victory for Zelensky is that there's a full removal of Russian forces, including Crimea. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Why would he? I mean, honestly, why would he? He doesn't have any incentive to do that. He's actually made money during this. Made money. He's not going to roll back out, so that's not going to happen. So what is victory? It's getting harder, and that's what happens when you have a long war. What is victory? When the Iraqis and Iranians were going at it for, what was that, 12 years? What was victory? Very hard for either side to determine what victory was. After so much bloodshed and loss of equipment and everything else, it was they're just looking for a way out. Clear ideas of victory. Most wars don't have clear victory anymore. There used to be. Most of them don't now. You gain some things, lose some things. It's not clear. I titled this: "The president is battling on many fronts," and he really is. He has Ukraine, Russia. He has a change of pope. You may not think that's a big deal, but it is a big deal because that's a huge segment of the Earth's population that is following the pope, and so it's another thing that he probably didn't think he would have to fool with. Some people are criticizing him for the color of his suit and everything. I could care less about that. With all that we got going on, our enemies are the haters are going to talk about his blue suit. Come on. They just look for any little thing. He's also got Iran, the negotiations for nuclear weapons, nuclear energy. Where does it go? This one's going to get ugly too, or it has the potential to get ugly. Because what someone in the region to happen is not going to happen, I don't think, at this point. It looks as though there's going to be an agreement that's going to happen that allows a certain level of enriched uranium to occur. But to get guarantees and some information, not even really information, but to get some documentation and stuff on how much they have and some monitoring of that, I'm sure will happen, probably by independent observers or whatever. That's probably the way this is going to go. This thing could blow up into a full war easily. So that's a struggle. The tariffs, the longer it goes, the more without deals. A lot of countries are lining up for deals, but the one with China is going to be big. Getting that settled, getting some sort of deal that's good for America. I really don't care if it's good for China. It needs to be good for America. And then, finding out alternatives so that we don't have to deal with them is the best thing to do. Much like we're going to Rumble, we need to find some way to get these things out of having to deal with China. And then, you know what? We don't have to worry too much about tariff wars. But that's a long vision, and it's not going to happen overnight. So this is unfortunately when they invested in China, and everybody thought this was this global economy, this global network, this global all this stuff. I said at the time, that's not good, because when things go south, you can lose your companies. They'll just claim them. They're not worried about international law. They'll just claim your property. Yeah, come over here and build some factories for us. Thank you. Thank you for building the factory, Mr. Uncle Sam. Thank you. We'll take that. Companies confiscated for 100 Alex. I mean, that's where we're at. And as we do bans here, which I support, bans on owning this farmland and everything in America, they'll start doing the same thing there. I know there's a lot of workers there. I mean, after all, they have a lot of people, right? I say get out. Get out. Why are we up to our neck and more for pharmaceuticals and some other things out of China? Why? That was dumb. It's bad enough in other places, but there it's absolutely dumb. So many other places we could have set up situations like that. But everybody said it's a global economy now. It's just a small world. We'll all work together. We'll all get rich together. We'll all network, and everybody will sing and be happy as we all just ride off in the sunset happily. That's the image that they were saying. It's all going to be so great. It's a global economy. I'll travel all over the world. I'll get to set up offices in Beijing and different places, Moscow. Oh yeah, everything's good until geopolitical turmoil, which always happens. And they have so many rules in place. I'm just not a fan of it. Yes, you want to have your footprint around the world where you can make sales. Yes. Don't have a problem with that. And yes, it's cheaper to make it in the region. But you don't have to make it there. Because it's just too much of an upheaval, and too many things can happen and go askew because of the different ideologies. I love the Chinese people. I don't love the CCU. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So these are things that can blow up. The nuclear reactor, the nuclear facilities, and Natanz, and maybe another one. Certainly Natanz has it. And will there be a blow up in a regional war because of that? We still have the ongoing Gaza question. That's sort of tapped down. Where's that at? That's not in the news much. That story got old quick, didn't it? It's still a mess. It's still a mess. An interesting tidbit that I saw about farming in the administration. President Trump is ready, this is by Sandy Fitzgerald, President Trump is ready to bail out American farmers if commodity exports continue to fall, particularly involving pork and soybean sales to China. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins said Sunday. First of all, the prayer is that doesn't need to happen. But secondly, if it does for the short term, just as in Trump 1, we are prepared for that. During Trump's first term in office, the government spent tens of billions of dollars in farm subsidies amid a smaller trade war between the United States and China. Rollins said Sunday that the full consequences of the current trade war won't be known until harvest time later this summer or early fall. But we are watching and analyzing it daily, and we're preparing for it. I'm in constant conversation with our friends on the Hill, where the funding comes from, and everyone is committed. Food security is national security. Yes. So it isn't just about protecting the farmers and ranchers, it's protecting the Great American Experiment and the Great American Dream. Meanwhile, Rollins also reported the egg prices have started to drop in some U.S. locations, with drops elsewhere to follow. In March, egg prices climbed to a record high. I've seen them higher than this, but they say a record high of $6.23. I can tell you that I know someone locally that was selling them a lot more than that. $6.23 per dozen. And on Sunday, Rollins blamed the Biden administration, telling CNN that when Trump was inaugurated in January, the price of eggs had increased 237% under the last administration. When you look at the wholesale cost of eggs, which drives the retail cost, the retail will follow suit, said Rollins. The actual Wholesale cost of eggs is down 58% in the last 6 weeks. In parts of the country, we've seen a significant decline in the retail cost. In some parts of the country, it has not followed yet, but it's coming. Also, gasoline prices continue to fall. They are resting around, in many places, for $2.49 a gallon, up to around $2.79, and at the jip joints, the ones that'll just, they got you. Nowhere else can you go. You're nearly out of gas. Even those places, it's right under $3. So that tells you how much of a reduction has happened in this. So we are seeing some successes. Remember, he said it would be a bumpy road. There are bumps, there are potholes in this road. Some parts of it's smooth, some parts of it's getting better, and some parts of it are full on pothole. The kind that has water in it, you can't tell how deep the hole is, so you think it's just a mud puddle, whatever. And the next thing you know, you're at the shop getting your front end realigned, or you broke an axle or something. There's some of those out there. We've got to avoid those. Steve Hilton says California doesn't have to stay Democrat run. Steve Hilton, a GOP gubernatorial candidate, told Newsmax Sunday, I think the thing that people have to imagine is the sense in California that after 15 long years of one-party rule, there is a sense that, well, hello, Mike, on Rumble Studio. How you doing, bud? Hilton, as a former advisor to British Prime Minister David Cameron, told Newsmax Sunday Report, I'm here to say, no, it doesn't have to be this way. Well, of course it doesn't. We just need people to switch. A lot of California is conservative, but the cities are not. That's the way it is in most states, or maybe in every state. California doesn't have to be a state with the highest rate of poverty in the country, said Hilton. 1/3 of the people in California can't meet their basic needs for food and shelter. Well, of course not. You can make $80,000 in California and be broke because things are so high. Housing, gas, electricity, the typical house price is nearly $1 million. Under half the kids in the public schools meet the state standards in English, and for math, it's 1/3. It doesn't have to be like this. We can change. We can be better. Well, sure we can. We got rid of the jacklegs and knuckleheads, and the people have got to do that. Why do you let these buffoons run your state? There's a lot of good people in California. I never agree with it. I know people in California. There's wonderful people out there. We've had some of them on the show. They're conservative. They're Christian. They're military. They're whatever. They love America. But they're just inundated with leftists. The cities are covered up. Then you get out in the outlying areas. It's conservative mostly. So yeah, we can see that change. But a lot of states are like that. Oregon. Get away from the cities and look how conservative it is. Of course, we know about Idaho. But you can find that many. Colorado. You get over in that southeastern corner, those 9 counties or whatever it is, them some country folk. Them some conservatives. That's MAGA country. But you get over in the other areas and it's can't even bar the door. And so it's a different ideology. But I agree with him, and I think that conservatives have been picking up some extra votes there, but it is still it's still very unbalanced, and I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. I really don't. So you just have to keep hammering down. Georgia's going to be a battleground. It has been the last 3 governor elections. Has been very tight. A lot of money pouring into the state. A lot of outside money pouring in. I don't mean from inside, from the outside. These voter groups getting in and working the city, signing people up left and right. God bless North and South Georgia has really turned out and kept a lot of these from turning blue. The state is still red, but barely. They are smelling blood in the water, and they're looking at Georgia as an opportunity. They're coming. They're not going to let up. They see it. Those senators won the re-election, and it's really going to be really hard to get them out. The president has called on today the person or persons responsible who operated Joe Biden's auto pen to be jailed. Now, a lot of conservatives have been waiting for the perp walks. They've been wondering where they're at. They've been raising a lot of cane, and they're understandable. These jackboots, these people that lied, committed fraud, broke the Constitution, destroyed people's rights. Where are these people? Why have they not been indicted? Why have they not been dragged out and taken to jail like they did others? He is calling for those people to be jailed. And so we're finally starting to see some of that. It's not happened yet, but he's calling for it. Now it's upon his administration to get it done. That's been the problem. They've not acted. He said, hopefully Act Blue, the Democrats' illegal scam used to raise money, including from the not allowed foreign contributions, is being looked at by authorities. The Dems only know how to win by cheating, he says in capital letters, something which they do better than any group or party in history. But now with their terrible policies and candidates, and with people like Crooked Adam Schiff, who demanded a full pardon from Sleepy Joe leading the way, it is almost impossible to reach their money goals. USA is wise to these scoundrels and crooks. Also, why did the auto pen give Schiff a pardon? Biden knew nothing about it. Who operated the auto pen? That is the biggest question being asked in D.C. They almost destroyed our country. They should be in jail, Trump said on his social platform, Truth Social. Okay, that's a nice headline. Let's make it happen. Let's find out who they are. Let's investigate them. We got to find out who these people were. Who was doing this stuff? They pushed this guy out there. He couldn't eat his Wheaties in the morning or his oatmeal, and he's out here signing pardons and executive orders, but waging war with Russia. This is scary, folks, that we had this guy that was in charge, supposedly, saying he was going to defeat Putin. Really? This guy couldn't even sign his name. Reminds me of that old, and I know there have been many TV shows and movies that had it, but reminds me of the old Star Trek, the original. Remember when they went to the planet and the guy was trying to help these people establish a new civilization, a new culture, whatever. And for some reason, he thought it would be good to use Nazi. I mean, really? So they had turned on him, and they were drugging him up and putting him out there. And he's speaking, but he's not running the country. And that's kind of what was going on, right? Our country was being turned into something we don't recognize by the jackboots that were behind him as they rolled him out, held his hand, showed him where to stand, just gave him something to read. And he always butchered that. And they're back behind the door, just auto penning to death. Let's go, baby. I got the power. I got the pen. Let's go. Who were those people? Put them in jail. Absolutely. And all you people that got pardons, that needs to be rescinded. Come on. So, President, I'm sure. Remember what I said, I think it was last week, that I don't care if the people around the world like us as Americans. I really don't care anymore. I'm over that. You know, I expect it. And what really bothers me is Americans who worry about it. Oh, the French, they just don't like Americans. I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit that they don't like us. I don't care. That's on them, not bothering me. And I'm sure with the president over there, I can just hear, well, you've already saw it in chat rooms and stuff. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. The president. It's so embarrassing for us Americans that the president's over there in his blue suit, that he's doing this or saying that or whatever. You think he cares? No. And guess what? I don't care either. Don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit. Not one bit. Let them cry about it. You know what? You can't please them. They're never pleased. The world is never pleased. The globalists are never pleased. Let them look down their nose at us. It's us that they come to when they want bailouts, when they want military help, when they want to cry and complain and say we're not doing enough when we're doing more than anybody. They'll still come to us. They'll still come bellying up. You ever had one of those situations where somebody comes to you and they go, "Oh man, this guy's been bad mouthing you, bad mouthing. I heard it." People like to do that. They like to tell you. I'm like, so what? I don't care. Well, I just thought you might want to know. Okay, you told me. And that same person shows up, playing on nice. I don't know if I really said it or not. People try to be the middle person who gets things stirred up, get a fight started. I just say, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Nothing I can do about that. We'll go a few more minutes. We had the unfortunate, this has become a trend, the car driving into the crowd in Vancouver. 30-year-old drove his vehicle through the Filipino festival in Vancouver Saturday, killing 11 people. My gosh. I heard about it on the radio. The attack took place in the evening. Multiple people were injured. Vancouver police ruled out a terrorist attack. He was charged with 8 counts of murder, according to the Vancouver Sun. He reportedly had a history of mental illness. According to the media, his brother was murdered last year, and his mother later tried to commit suicide. The investigation is ongoing. The suspect, accused of fatally mowing down 11 festival attendees when he plowed through a crowd of people at a block party in Vancouver, was identified as a local man. You know what? When you go out to these big events, you really got to be careful. I don't say don't go, but be careful. Kind of have to keep your head on a swivel. Got to pay attention to what's going on. Hold on to them kids' hands. Stand behind barricades. They're there for a reason. Remember the one where the guy knew where the opening was, the Tesla, and he went and found that? Yeah, one opening, they were redoing it. And that was the weak spot. That's where he took it, and he went in there. And it's just horrible. We used to have an event here in the town next to me. It's not in the town, but town next to me. And every time they had some of those events, they've scaled it way down now. It's basically nothing like it was. There were always trouble. You'd have somebody, some idiot would find somebody to get a gun in, or firecrackers or something, or some fight would start, and then you'd have the crowd running away from it, and people were getting trampled and stuff. Block party? No. They get it too big. There's too many bad apples there. Gangs show up. Then you get a gang war, gang fight. A buddy of mine, the last time he went was the year before the big. There were already people had running. He told me he had to jump in a doorway. There were people running down there just trampling over people, scared. But he said every person, not every person, but a lot of people there were just shoulder bumping him on purpose to see if they could start something. He told his wife, "So let's just get out of here. This is nothing but Thug Central." And it killed a great event. It was sort of billed as a cultural, coming together culturally, different races and stuff. And a lot of people had a good time, but it was always knuckleheads and always done wrong, and there were always violence. And then at one point there were shootings, and it just killed it. It just killed it. Can't have a good time for knuckleheads, be they gangs, mental illness, terrorism. I just don't care to go to stuff like that anymore. It depends on the event. But even then, you have to pay attention and be careful. There's so many bad apples out there. They're looking for a big crowd to make their mark, get their 15 minutes of fame, whatever it is. I don't know what they're seeing. I'll say this: there's a lot of people that need to be locked up, and I don't mean in a jail. I mean in a mental institution. They need help. We got people that go in, they get outpatient help. Well, half the time they don't make it back. They don't take their medication, or they misuse the medication, or they sell the medication, all this stuff. You got people that walk around on edge. And I'm not saying we should lock them away into a hole. They need the help they need. Some people just can't function in a normal society. If they do it, it needs to be limited and highly monitored. But we got people running around. They're in loose cannons. They're building up a rage, and they're ready to do crazy stuff. There's a comedian, and he was talking about how back in the day we didn't have a crazy problem. If you had somebody acting crazy, he said there was always a group show up, in white the van in the white suit, say, hey, what are you doing? Oh well, hey, we got a room for you. Come on down. We got a room for you. We'll take care of you, bud. Come on. The guy disappear for a couple of years and reappear, maybe. But when they defunded a lot of the mental health medicine treatments, facilities, there's still some of them out there, but not like there was. They dumped a lot of these people on the American street that became a lot of your homeless population. That was back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, something like that. They just poured them out in the street. They had nowhere to go. Yes, it's expensive. We probably helped make them crazy with some of the stuff that we've done to them through many different things that we're talking about right now. How many people have mental problems because of stuff that they were subjected to as children and as young adults and whatever else, or their mom was while they were carrying them. We have no way to quantify it, but it's getting worse. I mean, it's obvious. It's so obvious. People are on edge. Mental health issues are on, and they've got these people highly medicated on medication that you can't stop cold turkey. They hear voices, sometimes with the medication. Certainly if they come off of it in a rapid stance or pathway, and next thing you know, they're hearing voices, do it, and that's the side effects. We're just pumping people full of stuff. These stuff are mind altering. Some people get things they need, yes, but you gotta regulate dosages. You gotta have the right dosage of stuff like that. It's scary. I feel for those people. 11 dead. My gosh. But it's not a terror attack. Well, I would call it one. That's a reign of terror. Also dropped today, James O'Keefe with OMG announced a massive bombshell dropping soon. Government officials caught on camera billions of dollars in corruption exposed. Have video. The secret video. Be paying attention to that this week. Somebody bragging again. Hello, Jake. How you doing, brother? Oh, yeah. Crazy stuff. The female pilot, not against female pilots. Don't send me letters. But some of the early investigation has emerged that the female pilot, Rebecca Lobox, was negligent before the collision at D.C. Reagan Airport. They were on the wrong flight path. I think they've also determined that the air traffic controller was wrong too. They issued for them to move. The co-pilot tried to get them to do it, and they didn't respond. And then, it was. This is some of the early reports coming out. All these people that lined up to say she was not at fault. Well, it looks as though she was. 64 dead, and that included 3 pilots in the Black Hawk helicopter. The early or preliminary FAA report indicated that the staffing at the DCA air traffic control tower was not normal. That's one of the problems. And I think at the time they had talked about this, not normal at the time of the helicopter plane collision. According to NBC News, at the time of the collision, one controller was overseeing both helicopter and airplane traffic. Typically, one does each. Webcam video from the Kennedy Center showed the Black Hawk helicopter flying right into the American Airlines plane. The U.S. Army released the name of the pilot as this U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter, and a third pilot's name was finally released 3 days after the crash. Lobot reportedly had 45 hours of flying experience and served as an aide to Joe Biden. On Sunday, the New York Times released new details about the fatal crash, and then it was revealed that She repeatedly ignored warnings from her right seat about altitude. Lobach's male co-pilot, an Army flight instructor, directly told her to turn away, and she flew straight into a passenger jet. Not only was the Black Hawk flying too high, but in the final seconds before the crash, its pilot failed to heed a directive from her co-pilot to change course. The Black Hawk was 15 seconds away from the crossing paths with a jet. Warrant Officer Eves turned his attention to Captain Lobach. He told her he believed the air traffic control wanted them to turn left toward the east riverbank. The New York Times reported turning left would have opened up more space between the helicopter and Flight 5342, which was heading for runway 33 at an altitude of roughly 300 feet. And the fatal mistake was reported by the Times. She did not turn left. Facts are facts. It's not a summation about gender or whatever. It's just facts. Let the facts take you where they go. It's a horrible thing. So preliminary, and you could tell by the flight path that something was wrong. Again, understaffed and maybe a little bit of inexperience. So to drop out. We got it back up. So sorry for you folks in Rumble Studio if you're in there, but it's fixed. But yeah, the preliminaries pretty much nailed this, and that's not always the case, but they were pretty dead on this. There's more to come. There'll be a final report. If you've ever did that, let me say this. We're going to have to get off here in a minute. But if you've ever went and finally, after months after, maybe even a year or two after a fatal crash, and go back and look at the NTSB report. Hello, Crystal. How are you? If you go back and look at those reports, they're very thorough. There's a lot of details. I had a friend, he used to study crashes. He was an old airplane pilot, small plane, not jets. He had a fascination with it, and he kind of helped me with that. He was an engineer anyway, and he would talk about how great they were, but they give you so much information. I mean, they give you schematics, they give you details that you just don't get in normal press, and it's all there for you. And all you got to do is go look at it, and those reports are fascinating. One of the ones. Well, I'm glad you're good, doing good, feeling good, as they said in 48 hours. Feeling good. Hope you're feeling good too. Happy Sunday, almost into a Monday. But a couple of the plane crashes that were very hard to obviously study, but one of them was still to this day. There's conspiracy theories about the one off of Jersey, was in Atlantic City or whatever, that many claim they saw the missile. They determined it was fumes in the tank and wiring, all kinds of stuff. There's still those today that say that was terrorism. I don't know. But I do know this. They went down and got every piece of that craft that they could get a hold of and recreated it in a hangar. It's a fascinating story. There was one in Georgia. It's down in Paulding County. And used to be when I went down there to visit someone in a lockup, there's a little store I would stop at. And I always saw that. I love to look at historical signs. And I was reading about this historical sign there, and there's a cemetery there. And there was a DC-10 that came down in bad weather right there at that store. And it killed some people, obviously, on the plane and on the ground. And I went back and looked up everything I could find on it. It was fascinating to stand there and know that's where it came down. But I like to do that. You know what? It's getting a little hot here too. I was saying earlier, I moved my mic a little bit. Hopefully the air is not blowing on as it was. Thank you, Spartan. But it is heating up in GA, but probably heating up more in Florida. North Florida, South Florida, where are you at down now? But it is heating up. It will be May, a few days. month of May, getting close to the middle of the year. We've got the dreaded July and August months coming. Hot, hot, hot. Humid, humid, humid. Massive storms. Some of them already been rolling through. Those heat storms that we get here with all the lightning. Got a lot to look forward to, right? Don't forget, folks, in the morning SFP morning show, 6 a.m. Yeah, I got to get to bed. Me and Rob back on the attack. New week of shows. The Nature Coast on the Gulf of America. Yes. Thank you for that. Yes. Absolutely. Wonderful. Love it. And again, tomorrow night, Mama said, we live in the woods. People don't realize how much Florida is that. You know, they just think of the beaches. Well, Florida's a country. A lot of country in Florida. Sure is. I was reading this thing, and I don't remember how I got into it. What is the difference between a hillbilly and a redneck? I don't know. I never thought about it, to be honest. So they say hillbilly is Appalachia. Redneck would be those other areas in the South. So I'm up at my church up on a mountain. I was telling them this today. And one of the guys said, he's from the mountain. He said, well, I guess up here we're just redneck hillbillies. We're going to have to bring that. We're going to have to get those terms up too. But yes, before I go, thank you, Angry Conservative. The interview next Saturday. And I love this. You can't see us from the sky or the road. I like that, off the grid. Somewhat. Will be on Angry Conservative Show. And I am the cornbread man. Yes. Rumble only. Premium Rumble only. Saturday, 11 a.m. on Angry Conservatives Rumble account. Thank you. Thank you, Angry Conservative. Look forward to it. We've got some shows coming up. I've got a music interview coming up with a lady who does Dionne Warwick songs. Remember those songs from the 70s? She's won some acclaim. That's coming up in the week after on Saturday as well. I think same time. 10-ish, 11-ish, somewhere there. I'll have to confirm that. We've got to confirm that. It's got to remind me so I can get it. We've got other interviews that we got agreements on. Motorcycle safety. We have a person that's come in and talk about motorcycle safety. First, we're going to talk to child advocacy group. And there's some others. Oh, yes. And those who were at the festival selling the gator tail. We're going to get those folks on too. Yeah. Wild dogs, boar, and deer. When I first glanced, I thought it said beer. Wild dogs, boar, and beer. Deer. Could be deer and beer. I don't drink anymore. But just having some fun. We're so glad you're here. And yes, another one on Rumble. Rumbling. If you have not switched to Rumble, or at least have a Rumble channel, please get one today. I promise you, you won't regret it. So get the free one right now. You may decide later you want to become premium, avoid the commercials, see that premium content, get your Rumble channel. Absolutely. Some of these that we're in tonight even, they give us the shakedown. Remember Barney Fife? Shakedown. Shakedown. Boy, what a genius comedian. I love Don Knotts. Oh, I miss him. Rumbling Daily. Yes, we are too. Rumbling Daily. We have lots of friends on Rumble. We're growing the channels. We actually have 3, but our 2 main ones are SF Podcasting and Southern Fried Podcast. We do appreciate Rumble very, very much. I got some pretty cool looking merch items too. You can go to their store. I like some of their merch items as well. We're trying to get some more stuff up on our store and more stuff just added to. Just time. As Rolling Stones sung about time. But it's not on my side. I'm running out of time. I need more time. It'll be a busy week. Pray for us as we go to our funeral for my aunt. Visitation. It'll all be wrapped up again by Wednesday afternoon. We will be on Wednesday night. We will be. Topic still to be determined, although we have a couple of ideas. Don't forget, Half Pine Ford Steve, the Celtic blacksmith, will be with us starting May, the 1st of May, the first Wednesday in May, every first Wednesday of the month. You'll be joining us for Hunt Day Views. Hunt Day Views. We've changed that name. It's not Hunt Day News, it's Hunt Day Views, because we do a lot of views on there. I'm a southern redneck hillbilly. Yeah, I like it. Badge of honor. Take that, you globalist. We don't care. To China, Russia, Iran, whatever. Nothing against the people, but to you governments, do you think we really care what you say about us? No, we don't. Even to our allies, watch how you speak about us. We don't have to be nice. We choose to be nice. Don't come peeing down our back and tell us it's raining. We've seen it before. We don't need your stamp of approval to feel good about being an American. Shut your pie hole. We don't care. I really don't. You know, when you get older, I think, I wish all Americans, when you get older, your filters change. And when you're younger, you try to, most people do, they take a little more cordial about stuff. When you get older, you just tell them flat out, I don't like it. And the older you get, they don't want to do anything to you. They're like, well, he's an old man. I mean, we better leave him alone. The old man's tired. But you just don't care. You just tell him, like, I don't care. It's like road rage. You know, somebody says, you cut me off. Okay, sorry. They just want to keep going. You're like, hey, look, man. All right, my mistake. Move on. I don't care anymore. I'm over it. I mean, life is too short. Life is way too short. And we got podcasts to do. We've got shows to do. We've got people to interview. We've got to solve the ills of the world. And yes, and I didn't do my grades tonight. I didn't. There was a lot going on today. So I haven't forgotten. I will update that this week. We may just do it tomorrow. Or we may wait till next week. That's kind of a news desk thing. We are going to, I just had some other things I wanted to cover and catch up with somebody. And with family coming in, I just didn't have time to really put my thought into it the way I wanted to. And I refuse to shortchange it. I don't want it to be just thrown up there. I want it to be right. My thoughts. We're gonna go get some sleep, hopefully. You have a great night. We'll see you in the morning or sometime tomorrow or this week, wherever you're coming from. And hopefully news can be released this week. We hope our website is done. I hope. A little bit overdue, but that's okay. We're not complaining because we appreciate what they're doing. And we want it right. We're making some reaching out to find out about our coffee that we're going to be selling. I got to get some samples in. I've already sent them a cursory letter to request some information so we can get the business part of this done if we like what we're doing once we get the samples in. But in the meantime, and I ordered some again last night from Carl, Killer Carl Show, 55coffee.com. It's a great coffee. I just restocked last night, ordered it in. I used his promo code Carl15. It is on its way right now. I got an email today saying it is already shipped. In fact, I was talking to the company last night. They saw the order come in. They boxed that baby out, and it is out the door coming to Dave in the AM. Oh, sorry you had to reboot. That happens sometimes. But that coffee, we will have our own blends and stuff, hopefully in June. I am so excited about it. I cannot wait for that to happen. And I know you've heard me talk about it so many times. But that's because it's in my heart. I want to do that. And my family was like today, hey, we'll order it. Just let us know. I said, it's coming. It's coming. But we're going to get some rest. Like I said, I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. And it's going to be some times at the funeral home this week and a funeral service. So as we honor a special life in our family, God rest that soul, and reunited with my dad. And pray for us. We appreciate all the prayers. We're okay, but you do miss them. You sure miss them. Dave and the AM, we're signing off. We'll go out with some music, so you can hang around and listen to some of the music if you want. That's why I run it. Have fun with it. I sit here and listen to it myself. So we appreciate you, each and every one of you. You're a blessing to us, and we could not do this without your support. It means everything to us, and we don't say that lightly. Take care. We'll see you in the morning. Lord willing, if he wakes us up, the creek don't rise. We'll be in the morning show at 6 a.m. In just a few hours, I better get to bed. We'll do our birthdays. We'll do our shout-outs to our city. We always shout out a city and whatever else we can get into. Reunite with Rob, find out what happened this weekend, and get caught up on some other things, the early news and stuff. So we'll see you then. God bless.
the wheels, engines speak. Tracks of fire, dust and smoke. Southern skies, the throttles choke. Fast and fierce, racing souls, tearing through the endless cold. Twisting metal, thunder growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Cranking loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern fire racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts, and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Cranking loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern fire racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace. Burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern fried, race and breed. Southern fried, racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace. Burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern fried, race and breed. Smoke on the mic, a fiery cast. Robert and Dave, they bring the blast. Deep fried truths, jokes that sting. Southern fried chaos, hear them sing. Voices loud, cutting like steel. Fast as the wind, their words reveal. Cracking stories, danger unfolds. In the land of grits and rock and roll. Voices loud, cutting like steel. Fast as the wind, their words reveal. Cracking stories, danger unfolds. In the land of grits and rock and roll. Southern pride, take a ride. Lightning in veins, nowhere to hide. Robert and Dave, they'll electrify. With the fury of a podcast high. Barrels of laughs and razor-sharp fights. Burning like sun on Dixie nights. Sizzling banter, scorching their foes. The fight storm rises and it grows. Thunder crashes, hearts go wild. Dancing in hypnotized, beguiled. The bite of truth, the flame of snark, lighting up the southern dark. Southern side, take a ride. Lightning and veins, nowhere to hide. Robert and Dave, they'll electrify. With the fury of a podcast high.